Hey everyone, Dr. N here. Today we will be diving into Scribe Medica, an AI medical scribe app that has been generating a lot of buzz recently. In this episode, we will review its features, discuss security essentials, and go over what sets it apart. I'm actually part of the team, so we will be sharing some unique insights as well. By the end, you'll have a clear sense of whether Scribe Medica lives up to the hype. So let's get started and see what is it all about.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to The Deep Scope, the show where we help busy healthcare providers stay informed and maybe even reclaim a few minutes of your precious time today. Today we're taking a deep dive into Scribe Medica, this AI-powered medical documentation tool that's making some waves. You know the struggle, mountains of paperwork, hours lost to typing up notes. Well, Scribe Medica promises to change all that. We've got their marketing materials right here, and we're going to break down what they're offering, how it actually works, and what it could mean for your practice. So, First things first, what exactly is this Scribe Medica thing?
Imagine this, an AI that sits in on your patient visits, quietly listening and taking notes. That's the core idea behind Scribe Medica. They're really pushing the simplicity of it. No downloads or complicated setups. You just sign up, start a visit, and finalize your notes. Effortless. They claim...
Effortless is a beautiful word, especially when you're juggling a million things at once. But let's be real. We've all seen shiny new tech that promises the world and then falls flat. Why should a busy healthcare provider like yourself even consider giving Scribe Medica a shot? What's the big appeal?
Well, they're definitely hitting on some key pain points. The biggest one, of course, is time. Their materials talk about reclaiming hours, moving away from tedious documentation and back to what matters most, patient care. And let's be honest, who wouldn't want a bit more time back in their day?
I know I would. I'd love to swap out some of those late-night charting sessions for, well, just about anything else. But time savings aside, what other benefits are they touting?
They're going beyond just individual notes and talking about reducing administrative burden overall. Think about all the paperwork and tasks that bog you down. Scribe Medica aims to streamline that entire workflow. It's not just about writing notes faster. It's about making your whole day run smoother.
Okay. I'm starting to see the appeal here. But let's talk practicality for a second. We all know how frustrating clunky systems and integration issues can be. Does Scribe Medica address that at all?
That's a smart question. And they seem to have anticipated it. They emphasize the intuitive design of their AI platform and how smoothly it integrates into your existing workflow. No more battling with outdated systems or waiting on IT. They're promising a painless transition.
All right, so that's promising. But let's get to the heart of the matter, accuracy. We're talking about medical records here, and there's no room for error. How can we be sure that an AI is up to the task?
They address this head-on, actually. They talk about their advanced AI being designed to minimize errors, leading to more accurate notes and, ultimately, safer, higher-quality patient care. They even claim a 98% accuracy rate, which is pretty impressive if it holds up in the real world.
98%. That's nothing to sneeze at. But even with accurate notes, I imagine some providers might still be hesitant to hand over such a crucial task to a machine. What do they say to those folks who might be feeling a bit wary?
They acknowledge that AI in healthcare is a big leap for some. They really emphasize the human-in-the-loop aspect. So while the AI does the heavy lifting, you still have full control. You review and approve every note, ensuring everything meets your standards and reflects your professional judgment.
Okay, so it's like having a super efficient assistant who never takes a break but still lets you call the shots. That makes me feel a bit better. So they've got a slick AI. They're promising time savings, accuracy, and ease of use. Sounds pretty good so far. But now for the question everyone's thinking. How much does all this cost?
They've got a 3-tiered system, a free trial, a professional plan, and an expert plan. The free trial is a great way to dip your toes in the water with 12 free notes to see if it's a good fit, if you decide to take the plunge. The professional plan is $99 a month for unlimited visits, access to their advanced AI models, top-tier security with IPA compliance, customizable notes, and something called after-visit summaries, which sounds intriguing.
After-visit summaries. I'm curious about those. And what about the expert plan? What makes it so expert?
The expert plan jumps up to $499 a month. That gets you everything in the professional plan, plus ultra-long session capabilities, unlimited note regenerations, personalized onboarding, and priority support. They're clearly targeting high-volume practices or those with very specific needs with that one.
So they've got options for everyone, from the curious newbie to the power user. But let's move beyond the basics. What are they really highlighting as the standout features of Scribe Medica? What's their secret sauce?
One thing they emphasize is their AI's listening capabilities. It's not just about transcribing words. It's about understanding the context of a medical conversation. They claim it can even pick up on subtle nuances that a human might miss, like significance of a particular symptom.
Okay, now that's interesting. It's one thing to have a transcript. But if the AI can actually analyze and interpret the information, that's a whole different ballgame. What else are they touting?
They talk a lot about speed. Instant draft generation is one of their big buzzwords. So, no more waiting around for notes to be processed. You can review and approve them right after the consultation, saving you even more time.
All right, so we've got accurate notes, we've got fast notes, but how do those notes actually get into my system? What about integration with existing EHRs? That's always a pain point.
This is where they get clever. They've actually designed Scribe Medica to work without direct EHR integration. You simply copy and paste the generated notes into your existing system. It's a workaround, but it avoids those headaches of complex IT setups and compatibility issues.
I like that. It's flexible. It works with what you've already got, and you're not locked into their system.
Yeah.
Speaking of flexibility, what about customization? Can you tailor the notes to different specialties or personal preferences?
Customization is a big selling point for them. They offer the ability to tweak the documentation to fit your specific specialty and workflow, and they're constantly working on expanding those options. It's clear they're trying to make a system that adapts to you, not the other way around.
That's smart. No two practices are exactly alike, so that kind of flexibility is essential. But before we get too excited, we have to talk about the big one, security. What are they saying about protecting sensitive patient data? This is healthcare, after all, so that's paramount.
They're very upfront about their commitment to security and compliance. They state that Scribe Medica is fully compliant with IPAY regulations, ensuring patient data is protected at all times. They also offer multi-device access so you can access and update notes from anywhere securely.
Okay, so they're taking security seriously. IPAY compliance is a must-have. And the multi-device access is a nice perk for those of us who are always on the go so far. It sounds like they've ticked a lot of boxes. Ease of use, time savings, accuracy, seamless integration, customization, security. It's a pretty compelling package. But I think it's time to address the elephant in the room. Not everyone is comfortable with the idea of AI in healthcare. Some folks are naturally wary of new technology, especially when it comes to something as sensitive as patient care. What do they say to those who are hesitant or skeptical?
You're absolutely right. It's a big shift in how we think about healthcare. And Scribe Medica acknowledges that some providers might be apprehensive. That's why they really stress the user-friendliness of the platform and the support team that's available to help with the transition. They want to reassure users that they won't be left to figure it out on their own.
That's a good approach. Nothing makes people more resistant to new tech than feeling like they're going to have to wrestle with it alone. What other concerns do they address?
Well, compliance is always top of mind for healthcare providers, so they emphasize that Scribe Medica adheres to all relevant regulations. This is designed to ease concerns about potential legal or professional repercussions, letting providers feel confident that they're not taking any risks by using the system.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
But let's be honest. The biggest question mark for a lot of people is the reliability of AI in healthcare. Are we really ready to trust an algorithm with something as important as patient information?
That's the million-dollar question. And they tackle it head-on.
All right, I'm all ears. What's their big defense of AI?
They emphasize that their AI has been trained on real medical records and is constantly learning and improving from real-world usage. They boast that impressive 98% accuracy rate.
That's reassuring. But we've only scratched the surface here. We need to dive deeper into the potential implications of AI in healthcare, both the good and the bad. What are the broader trends we're seeing, and what does the future hold? We'll tackle all of that in part 2, right after this.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
All right. See you there.
So we've talked about Scribe Medica's claims and features, but now let's zoom out and look at the bigger picture. AI in healthcare is evolving rapidly, and it's raising some important questions about the future of medicine. Yeah. It feels like we're at a turning point. This technology has the potential to be incredibly beneficial. But there are definitely some concerns we need to address. What are some of the key trends you're seeing in the world of AI and healthcare?
One of the most exciting areas is personalized medicine. AI is being used to analyze massive amounts of patient data, genetics, lifestyle factors, medical history, you name it. The goal is to tailor treatments to each individual, moving away from a one-size-fits-all approach to healthcare. It's about getting the right treatment to the right patient at the right time.
That's incredible. It's like having a custom-made treatment plan for every single patient. What other areas are being impacted by AI?
Drug discovery is another big one, traditionally. Developing new drugs has been a slow and expensive process, but AI is changing that. By analyzing huge data sets, AI algorithms can identify promising drug candidates and predict their effectiveness, speeding up the research and development process significantly.
So we're talking about potentially finding cures for diseases that have stumped us for years. That's a game changer. What about the impact on diagnostics? I've heard a lot about AI being used in medical imaging.
Absolutely. AI is already being used to analyze medical images, X-rays, CT scans, MRIs, to detect abnormalities that might be missed by the human eye. This can lead to earlier and more accurate diagnoses, which can be life-saving in some cases. Think about it. An AI that can spot a tiny tumor or a subtle sign of a heart condition before it becomes a major problem.
It's like having a second set of expert eyes, constantly scanning for any potential issues. Are there any other areas where AI is making a difference?
We're even starting to see AI being integrated into surgical procedures. Robotic-assisted surgery is becoming more common, and AI is playing a key role in guiding those robots, allowing for more precise and less invasive surgeries.
So AI is not just assisting with diagnosis, but also with treatment. It's amazing to think about the possibilities. But I have to admit, I'm also a little apprehensive. Are there any downsides to all of this? What are some of the concerns that people are raising about AI in healthcare?
It's important to acknowledge that no technology is perfect, and AI comes with its own set of challenges. One concern is the potential for job displacement. As AI becomes more sophisticated, it's natural to wonder if it will eventually replace human healthcare providers.
That's a valid concern. Healthcare is a deeply human profession. And the idea of machines taking over is unsettling to a lot of people. But is it really a zero-sum game, AI versus humans?
I don't think so. Instead of viewing AI as a replacement for human workers, we can think of it as a powerful tool that can augment our capabilities. Imagine AI handling routine tasks, freeing up healthcare professionals to focus on the more complex and nuanced aspects of care that require human empathy, judgment, and decision-making. It's about reimagining roles, not eliminating them.
That makes a lot of sense. It's not about being replaced by robots. It's about using technology to make our jobs easier and more effective so we can focus on what matters most, our patients. But even if AI doesn't take our jobs, there's still the question of trust. Can we really rely on algorithms to make life or death decisions?
That's a crucial question, and it gets to the heart of the ethical considerations surrounding AI in healthcare. Transparency is key. We need to understand how these algorithms work, what data they're trained on, and what biases might be baked into the system. And ultimately, we need to ensure that humans remain in control, using AI as a tool to enhance our judgment, not replace it.
So it's not about blindly trusting the machine. It's about using AI responsibly and ethically. It sounds like the key is finding the right balance, embracing the potential of AI while also acknowledging its limitations and making sure that human values remain at the forefront of healthcare.
Exactly. It's a complex issue, and there are no easy answers. But by having these conversations and engaging with these ethical dilemmas, we can ensure that AI is used for good, improving patient care and advancing the field of medicine in a way that benefits everyone.
Well said. It's an exciting time to be in healthcare, but it's also a time for careful consideration and thoughtful dialogue as we navigate the uncharted waters of AI. But let's bring it back to the product at hand. We've discussed the broader landscape of AI in healthcare, but for our listeners who are specifically interested in Scribe Medica, what are the key takeaways they should keep in mind?
That's a great question, and one we can explore in more detail in part 3.
All right, so we've covered a lot of ground. Scribe Medica's specific features, the broader trends in AI and healthcare, and some of the ethical considerations we need to keep in mind. Now, let's bring it back down to earth for a moment. For those listening who are intrigued by Scribe Medica but still haven't made up their minds, what are the key things they should consider before taking the plunge?
It's always wise to approach any new technology with a healthy dose of skepticism, especially when it comes to something as critical as patient care. So, here are a few questions you should ask yourself before jumping in.
Lay it on me. What are the make or break factors?
First and foremost, think about your individual needs and how Scribe Medica fits into your current workflow. How much time are you currently spending on documentation? What are the biggest bottlenecks in your day? Will Scribe Medica actually address those specific pain points for you?
So it's not just about the cool features. It's about finding the right tool for the job and making sure it solves the problems you're actually facing.
Precisely. Next, and this is crucial, Consider the potential impact on your patients. How will they feel about having an AI listening in on their most private conversations? Are you prepared to have open and honest discussions with them about how this technology works and how their data is being used?
That's such an important point. We can't forget that our patients are people, first and foremost, not just data points. Their comfort and trust should always be our top priority. What else should we be thinking about?
Well, of course, there's the cost factor. While the free trial is a great way to test the waters, the paid plans can be a significant investment for a practice. You need to crunch the numbers and see if the potential time savings and increased efficiency justify the expense.
Makes sense. Time saved is great, but it has to make financial sense for your practice in the long run.
And finally, don't underestimate the learning curve that comes with any new technology. Even one as user-friendly as Scribe Medica claims to be, make sure they provide adequate training and support to get you up and running smoothly. Do they have a responsive customer service team to help you troubleshoot any issues that might come up?
So don't just assume you'll figure it out on your own. Make sure the company has your back if you need help.
Exactly. By carefully weighing all these factors, you can make a more informed decision about whether Scribe Medica is the right fit for your practice and your patients.
Solid advice. It's so easy to get caught up in the hype of new technology, but it's essential to step back and really assess whether it aligns with your values, your workflow, and your vision for your practice. Well, we've covered a lot of ground today. We explored the ins and outs of Scribe Medica, we zoomed out to discuss the broader trends of AI in healthcare, and we touched on some of the ethical dilemmas this technology presents. It's clear that AI is rapidly changing the way we practice medicine, and it's up to us to navigate these changes thoughtfully and responsibly. So, if you're curious about Scribe Medica, I encourage you to take advantage of their free trial, explore their resources, and do your own research. See if it aligns with your needs and your vision for the future of your practice. And if you do decide to give it a try, I'd love to hear your thoughts. What works for you? What doesn't? And how has it impacted your workflow and your interactions with patients? Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into Scribe Medica. Until next time, keep learning, keep questioning, and keep striving to provide the best possible care for your patients.
If you enjoyed today's episode, please hit the like button, share it with other clinicians who might find this information helpful, and subscribe to the channel for the latest updates. Watch this video here to learn how to integrate an AI scribe to your medical practice with minimal disruption.